Hey people, it's NIyas713. Now this is from The Guardian. Robot artists perform AI-generated poetry in response to Dante. Ada used data bank of words and speech pattern analysis to produce and perform a work that is reactive to the Divine Comedy. Dante's Divine Comedy has inspired countless artists from William Blake to Franz Liszt and from August Rodin to C.S. Lewis, but an exhibition marking the 700th anniversary of the Italian poet's death will be showcasing the work of a rather more modern devotee, Ada the robot, which will make history by becoming the first robot to publicly perform poetry written by its AI algorithms. The ultra-realistic Ada, who was devised in Oxford by Aidan Mellor and named after computing pioneer Ada Lovelace, was given the whole of Dante's epic three-part narrative poem, The Divine Comedy, to read in J.G. Nichols' English translation. She then used her algorithms drawing on her data bank of words and speech pattern analysis to produce her own reactive work to Dante's. Ada will perform the poem on Friday night at Oxford's Ashmolean Museum. While Ada is not the first AI to have been taught to write poetry, organizers said Friday would be the first time an AI robot has written and performed poetry as a human poet would do. We looked up from our verses like blindfolded captives. Seek light, but it never came, runs one of her poems. A needle and thread will be necessary for the completion of the picture, to view the poor creatures who were in misery, that of a hawk, eyes sewn shut. It don't seem that interesting, but let's keep going. In another, Ada writes, there are some things that are so difficult, so incalculable, the words are not intelligible to the human ear. She can only speculate what they mean. Mellor, an art specialist, said the words and sentence structure of the poetry are all AI generated from Ada's unique AI language model with restricted editing. People are very suspicious that robots aren't doing much, but the reality is language models are very advanced, and in 95% of cases of editing, it's just that she's done too much, he said. She can give us 20,000 words in 10 seconds, and if we need to get her to say something short and snappy, we would pick it out from what she's done, but it is not us writing. Mellor described it as deeply unsettling how language models are developing. We are going very rapidly to the point where they'll be completely indistinguishable from human text, and for all of us who write, that is deeply concerning, he said. Poet Carol Rumens, commenting in his verse, said she found the lines about requiring a needle and thread to complete the picture very odd, and that would be the point where I think the poem might be falling apart or becoming very experimental, but still not uninteresting. The image of the hawk attained by having its eyes sewn up is close to the original and still powerful. It has kept the best bit of the passage despite the muddle of registers and strange orientation. The rhythm of the line seems to flow quite well, added Rumens. I think there's hope for the robot poet. Mellor said that while he doesn't see Ada's poetry as in competition with human poets, he admits that it is fundamentally unsettling. We hope artists, poets, writers, filmmakers, etc. will increasingly engage with and use new technologies such as AI. Because one of the best ways to critique, evaluate, and highlight potential problems is to actually use and engage in these technologies, he said. It's not a question of competition, but rather a question of discussion and potential action. All of us should be concerned about widespread use of AI language models on the internet and how that will affect language and, crucially, meaning-making in the future. If computer programs rather than humans are creating content that in turn shapes and impacts the human psyche and society, then this creates a critical shift and change to the use and impact of language, which we'll need to be discussing and thinking about. Which we need to be discussing and think about. The performance is part of the Ashmolean's exhibition Dante, the Invention of Celebrity, which explores the influence of Dante over the centuries, including several works of art created by Ada. These include Eyes Wide Shut, a response to her detainment in Egypt last month. Egyptian security forces had been concerned about security issues around the cameras in her eyes. Her artwork reflects on the power of sight and surveillance in the modern world, its propensity to elicit distrust and the tension it creates. Ada, who was built over 2 years by a team of programmers, roboticists, art experts, and psychologists, previously had solo expeditions at Oxford and the Design Museum in London, given a TED Times talk at Oxford, and had an artistic residency at a Porthmeor studio in St. Ives. I've always been fascinated with self-portraits to self-question what exactly you look at, she told The Guardian May. I do not have feelings like humans do, however, I'm happy when people look at my work and they say, what is this? I enjoy being a person who makes people think. That probably confused me. I don't have feelings, yet I'm happy. What the? Completed in 2019, Ada has silicone skin, individually punched hair, 3D printed teeth, and gums and integrated eye cameras. She has legs but cannot walk, but her arms, torso, and head move freely. Her appearance was ascribed by the female members of the team who named her after Ada Lovelace, the first computer programmer in the 19th century. Said Miller, it is hoped she offers encouragement to female computer programmers today and in the future who are significantly underrepresented globally. Just as crucial is the question of why Shippy is human. We chose a humanoid form because although advances in technology can seem distant and abstract from us, direct and indirect impacts on our human bodies are manifold, and Ada's humanoid form offers an oblique reflection on this. So these are very interesting questions. How will this affect culture? How will this affect our creatives? Like if we have, writing, poetry, filmmaking, musicians being equal to by technology, what hope will there be for any culture, any creative to make money? Creative people will be, quite frankly, out of a business. But then again, maybe not. Anyway, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'm going to leave this article in the description. If you'd like to donate to this channel, I'll leave my cash app. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'll leave that there as well. If you want to buy one of my t-shirts, I'll leave that there as well. Peace.